We're here at Llandow for round number 7 of the Club 100 Junior Super Lightweight season in South Wales, and we're looking to make some good points after last round where we sadly got a penalty for unfair overtake on another driver. But we look ahead to this round where we're going to try and get some more points in the bag. However, will we face hard racing and some bad luck again? Watch the entire video to find out. So hello and welcome to a new video, and we're at Llandow. Not been to this track before. I don't think many people have actually. Looks quite tight and technical. I see lots of cones out on circuit, so it should be quite interesting with cone penalties. Weather-wise, it's not wet, but I can feel like it's about to rain soon. So I'm hoping for a good result after Wilton Mill, where we got some silly penalty. I'm not best pleased with that. But yeah, let's see how it goes. What I noticed, which I actually didn't know, but there's an actual race car track next to Llandow. You can probably see it over there. And that's like really cool, as there's a kart track and there's an actual race track right next to it. Looks like there's some track day going on or something, which looks quite interesting. Might have a look later, that looks really cool. It's a bathtub. What is that bathtub looking car? Oh, the Honda.
Oh, he's flying.
Bro's cooking. Go.
Benjamin Bogmilton. Oh, speaking of him.
So we're going out for our practice session at Llandow. We're going to just try and learn the track. Obviously we haven't driven on this track ever really. Or ever at all. So we're going to try and learn the track as quickly as possible. And we already almost crashed going through the first corner. Not optimal by me to do that. So what I found quite quickly is the track's very oversteery. So I don't know if it was just the rear tyres were like mega dead or something, but it was very slippy. Especially around these longer corners, you can sort of see the rear just stepping out. We're catching up to this driver already. But we're going to sit behind him for this first lap, just making sure not to do anything stupid and punt into someone, which we had a big telling off about earlier in the day. We had a whole separate briefing, the juniors, because the driving standards were so poor last round. So hopefully this round's a bit better with driving standards, but we will see. It's Club 100 juniors, like, what do you expect? So it's always going to be chaos. So that was our first lap done, and we're still sat behind this driver. We're going to find our way past at this hairpin, which I actually really liked. Once I got used to it, it's a really good place to just send it up the inside of people. It's the yellow flag there. That guy in front of us almost collects, joins that driver who spun out there. And we're going to pull off a nice switchback. It seems like if you're offline, it's also quite understeery. Very odd, this track to drive. But I quite enjoy it. This driver goes a bit wide, but he doesn't see us. I thought he was going to cut us up there, so we have to back out of it. Then he goes very oversteery there, so we get a better exit, and we're going to slip right past him there. And that's another overtake done. So learning the track pretty well, and just like that, the session's over. So yeah, decent practice session, learnt lots, and looking forward to qualifying. So that was practice. Yeah, it went pretty well actually. I came 7th, but I was only 3/10 off the pace, which isn't bad. So I was just trying to learn the track, learn overtaking places. I was very slow at the beginning, but I got quicker and quicker. I'd say I'll probably have pace maybe for top 5, or like higher up. Yeah, I was just trying to learn the track. Yeah, really fun. It's very slidey if you go offline, I found about that, and you have to take a lot of curb going through that chicane over there on that side of the track. Yeah, I actually really like it. Made a few good overtakes. It's quite fun. Very physical. It's more than Wilton bumpy. It's very bumpy. So yeah, try and improve for qualifying. Hopefully we can get in the A final.
Good luck, Benji.
Benjamin.
Oh, well.
I need to streamline my clips. So we're going out for qualifying, and you'll see that I immediately pull off to the side to just try and get some clear air, which I really struggled with this session as there was so much traffic. As only a few laps later, after waiting up, we immediately catch up to Tyler here, who we were actually battling with last round at Wilton Mill. He did really well that round, so props to him. And he kindly lets us pass, so thanks Tyler for that. But then soon after that, we already catch up to another driver, and it just seemed like whenever I was on a good lap, I would catch up to someone. Always seems to be on this final sector of the lap as well, which is very annoying. So you have the entire lap and you think, oh, this has been a great lap, and then you catch up to someone and it ruins your entire lap. And going for a move there into the turn 1 obviously won't set you up well. And we're going to go for a flying lap round Llandow. So into this bit, which you have to take a lot of curb through here and just try and flat over it, just try and ride the curb, then into the long section of corners, really sort of feathering the throttle all the way around, trying to control the slide into this tightening hairpin where you're trying to maximise the exit speed. They're trying to rebuild the track there on the side. Now into this very difficult corner where there's a tarmac change and it's very bouncy, but it kind of grips up quite a lot, using that little bit of weird plastic exit curb, then taking as much curb as you can through the chicane. You see how much we're gaining on the driver in front actually, just all through the chicane, where I felt like I carry so much more speed than the other drivers in front. Now into the hairpin, really able to lock up the brakes there. As you can see, huge lock up by me. Maybe that might have been a bit slow, but that looked cool anyway. And as soon as we finished the lap, we already caught up to this driver, and well, it's going to mess up our next lap because we've had to brake through turn 1, which is obviously flat out. And we're going to try and find our way past this driver in front of us, but it's going to be quite difficult. Then through here, makes a big mistake going quite sideways, but we managed to slip underneath him and we get past. But through this session, it was all just trying to find some space, but we didn't really manage to find any, and that's qualifying over. Not great, so much traffic, but we'll see how we ended up compared to everyone else. Right, so that was Quali. So 8th in group, not too bad. I was quite far off the pace, which is weird. I was actually slower than I was in practice, so I think my car might have been off the pace. So I reckon around 15th in the A final, not too bad. Right in front of Jack Harrison, who was 0.06 of a second slower. And yeah, should be a decent race. Yeah, should be interesting. We're actually taking the cut through, going through there, so no crook, or I forgot what it's called, the crook. Yeah, through here. So yeah, should be interesting. I was really odd though because it rained like just before my session, and obviously you'd think, oh, if it rained before, it would be less grippy, but it turns out it seemed to be the opposite.
Grip, like it got worse.
It's a mystery to me, guys.
Yeah, same to me.
So,
When are you going to post Wilton, by the way?
I'll post it like in a few days.
But the yellow part video was class.
Right, so yeah, I'll get it. So hopefully the race goes well, and yeah.
Benji, our wet lines was, not Benji, Jack, our wet lines was so good. Benji, our... Jack's car is so bog.
So about to go up for the pre-A final. It's actually nice and sunny now. Very, very chaotic. So starting P14, I think. So yeah, see how it goes. So that was the pre-final. Actually went really well. I actually managed to get some good car luck for once. So I actually went from P14 all the way up to P6, but sadly I actually got a 4-place penalty for a move I did on George Brown Mosby. It's weird. So around this corner here, it was exactly here, I just gave him like the lightest of taps, not really meaning to like punt him off or anything, and then I just slid him wide. And yeah, and when I tried to give the position back, his car was so slow down the straights, he physically couldn't, even though I was going half throttle. So not great. We still finished 10th, so we still made up 4 places, so good in my books. And I'm actually still happy because I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to do this round, so I'm happy what I did. So yeah, I'm happy that I actually have some good pace for once, and I actually had some good kart luck for once, but I need to become less of a podotron really, and otherwise JV's gonna get angry at me probably. But yeah, sadly my GoPro footage decided to like delete itself, so no footage from the pre-final sadly, but it was really good. Actually we had to do basically our recap. So started 14th, false start, got killed over there, got spun round and dropped all the way down, restarted, got back in place, and then made my way up, just making moves every lap. And then I caught up to George, accidentally podded him. Almost caught up to the drivers in front, but actually I got the fastest lap of the race, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, on to the final. So here we go for the final here at Llandow. Green light and away we go for the start of this A final. The left side gets a rocket start, so we're sort of left hanging here on the outside, taking the cut through and really rocketing down to the first proper corner. And Max spins round there, so that's bad for him, but I didn't really see what happened there, so I think he just lost a bit of control. They go very wide on the exit there, and I'm at the inside of Dom and Jack there on the outside. Dom waves me through, which is very kind of him, so thank you Dom for that, I appreciate that. And then there's George in front of us and this other driver in front of us as well. So we're going to head into the chicane for the first time. We're going much more speed. We accidentally pod the guy out of the way, so sorry for that. And we try and get the switch back, but I think this point of the race, I realise this, my kart just doesn't seem to have much pace at all down the straight. So we skip forward. A few laps later, I'm still behind this driver. Got to try and switch back him out of the chicane. He runs quite wide, but we're going to try and slip underneath him, but he keeps it very nicely. He's going to go defensive. We're going to go to the outside. We're going to try and pull off a switchback, which we do actually. So we're going to pull alongside, going across the start-finish line, but he gets a much better exit off the corner. We're going to go down the inside into turn 1, give him the space, but then he gets the inside for the next corner. I think that was Jack Upper inside just then. But he keeps the position, and we need to hold off from the drivers behind as well. So there's Dom and Jack right behind me, so I need to keep them at bay as well. So skipping forward a little bit later, once again we go through the chicane. Definitely our strongest part of this circuit. Really quick in this final, I found myself. So we're gonna go up the inside of this driver. We've got a much better run than him, so we're gonna send one up the inside. Nice move by me, but we actually overshoot the corner and actually miss the apex, so he gets a switchback on us. So we're going to go side by side through turn 1, going to leave him the space, and now we're going towards turn 2 and into turn 3. Really got to be careful there on the curb. It's sort of luck if you make over that curb properly, I found. So in front of us, that's Frederick hitting the barrier there. I don't know if you saw that, and that means he loses lots of speed. So we're going to send one up the inside. We're going to follow Frederick through, and that means we've got the position on that driver. Oh no, we haven't. He's up or inside, so now we're on the outside for the long corner. We've lost one position to Jack Harrison, and he signals to work together to try and push forwards, but we'll see about that one. So we're going to continue working forwards, and Frederick runs really wide, so we're going to push Jack through, and then that gives Jack the position, but he gets shoved wide, so we're going to try and get the switch back now on Jack, but he covers it off nicely. We just can't quite get swing underneath him. But however, we're thinking about the move up the inside, and we're going to go to the inside. Jack's going to go to the outside. Frederick's on the outside, and we're going to get the position on Jack, or are we? We're going to leave him the space, and he actually keeps it around the outside, but we're going to give him the space into turn 1, lobbing that curb, and now trying to get his switch back on him through turn 2. We're going to get shoved off a little bit here, but that's just hard racing. That's just fair racing, I think. We still got the inside just about on Jack. Really great racing between us two in this race so far. As both our karts seem quite, and Rory Hinckley comes out of nowhere. That was whilst me and Jack were battling. Rory Hinckley slips through and that lets Dom through, and I think that's an orange boot. That must be much. That's Max Sheldon Hayward getting spun off at the first corner, and he's managed to make his way all the way back up the field into around 10th place, I think. We're going to try and get a switchback on him though, going down the straight, but we can't quite make it happen, so we're going to stick behind him for currently. And it seems like the straight line problem on this kart seemed to be more evident compared to Max's kart, which was quite interesting. And you see Max actually goes straight past Jack there. Lovely move by him. We're going to send one up the inside of Jack again. We're side by side through turn 1, and now Jack's got the inside, so he gives us the space and he keeps his position. Really great racing from in this A final. Really great. And we actually go a bit wide. I think someone was up or inside. Yes, they were. And you could just about tell in the background that someone was up or inside. Anyway, continuing on. We're behind Don Balasitis here, and we can see he actually goes into the back of Jack Harrison. So we're going to try and get up the inside of him, but we can't quite make the move stick. A little bit frustrated now, not really being able to find a way past the drivers in front. Even though I felt like we're all sort of on equal pace, and we were just trying to find a way past, but it was really tricky because the field in Club 100 is just so unbelievably close, and it just makes the racing so intense of how close it is. And Dom's got the run. So he's going to have a look at Jack, I think. So Jack's going to go heavily defensive. I think this might be the last lap of the race, actually. We're going to send it round the outside of Dom, and he gives us just enough space, but we're going to get the exit speed, and that is the last lap, and we're going to cross the finish line in 10th place where we started. Not a great race, not a bad race. Decent points from the A final, and yeah, looking forward to the next round at Rowra.